What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Front Yard Fantasy Hour presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Joey Wright and John Luke Garofalo. What's up, guys?
What up?
What's going on? Got coffee. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to beat Pat. So let's go.
What was that, Joey? Was that another? I think that was a greeting in another language first. I heard Nato. What's up, guys? I'm going to start using that one. Guys, also joining us today, I'm sure with a unique greeting himself, we've got industry legend, fantasy football superstar, Pat Fitzmaurice with us. For those of you that do not know Pat, I don't believe you. But liar. Pat is the managing editor at Fantasy Pros and over at Betting Pros and the host of the Fitz on Fantasy podcast. Pat, thanks so much for joining us today, my man.
Oh, what an introduction, Simon. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here with you and Joey and JL.
Man,
notice how he said my name first, JL? I just wanted you to notice that.
I didn't notice that.
He just did them in alphabetical order.
Of course. We had dinner together, Joey. So
we did. Thanks for bringing that up.
Saving the best for last.
I was trying to figure out the alphabetical order in my head while we did that and realized it's been a really long time since I had to sort things alphabetically that I had to think about what came first, S or J. It's definitely J, so that was definitely wrong. We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Maria, what's up? Saying yes, sir, Mr. FanDuel. And what an all-star guest. Absolutely an all-star guest.
Thanks.
And FanDuel in here with the reminder, right after this, we are going to be live for Front Yard Fantasy's office hours where we're doing nothing but answering your questions. So if you've got fantasy football questions, feel free to throw them in this chat. We're going to be answering some throughout the show today. But if we don't get to it, right after this, if you've got autoplay on, you don't even have to click anything. It's going to bring you right on over to our channel where we'll be doing nothing but answering your questions live. Pat, we brought you here today to play our game called Poll Perception. Before we get into that, though, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following Pat Fitzmaurice on Twitter, go and follow him right now. He's on Twitter at Fitz_FF. Fitz_FF. Easy enough to remember, easy to find. You will not regret it. After you do that, head on back over here. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to FanDuel on YouTube. Hit that like button if you're on Facebook, or hit that follow button if you are on Twitch. And then check out FanDuel across all their other platforms. We got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got Twitter at FanDuel on all of those. And they have a whole team of killer content creators helping you guys win some money and win your leagues.
Content creators sounds terrifying.
The killer content creators, Attack of the Killer Content Creators. Yeah, it's the new slasher film coming out in 15 days.
I'd watch it.
Joe, you excited?
Oh yeah, I think this is the second time killer content creators has come up on the show. Yeah. I really feel like we've done this before, but I love it
right now.
Yeah,
it's the hot topic.
I love slasher movies. It's October. Let's go.
Joey, I looked up a movie that you told me to. Movie that you recommended to me called X. And I typed it in, and the first words describing it that came up were porno slasher film, is how the film you recommended to me was described by Google as the genre, is what it was called.
No,
Joey's like, did I send him the wrong link?
No, it's a Ty West film, notable director. It's a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Group of kids go out to film an adult film at a ranch and chaos ensues. But yes, I did recommend that movie.
No, I read more and then it became clear. No, 100% it's not. I just thought it was funny that I Googled a movie you recommend me and the very first word is porn in describing what it is. And I was like, I guess Joey's film recommendations are getting a little bit looser. If we got some more people in the chat, Siobhan, what's up? He goes, woot.
Siobhan.
That's my best friend.
Dame, hello, humans.
Dame.
Well, hello, fellow human. We're all humans here.
Yes, we are.
Oops. Except for Mr. Scampers. What's up, Mr. Scampers? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Said FYF. Pat. Glad to have you in here, Mr. Scampers. Like I mentioned, today we are playing Poll Perception. JL is going to be running the game for us today. That means myself, Joey, and Pat are going to be going head to head to head. Pat, you've never played this game on the show with us before, but you've played some with our other games. How have you fared in those? I'm trying to remember. You came out victorious last time you were on, right?
No, last time was Jeopardy, and Joey
right.
took down you and I. But I had won a Wheel of Fortune game before that.
Oh, nice.
So
that's the most valuable in my mind because it's the most fun, and also you got to be balanced to win that game.
Trivia and puzzles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The words and the numbers.
You're a man of many talents if you can win Fantasy Fortune. Well, today, round 3, seeing if you can get that 2 out of 3 victory on the Front Yard Fantasy game shows. JL, I'm going to explain this game, then I'm going to pass it off to you to run it for today. The game we're playing today is called Poll Perception. It's the game that tests your ability to understand the public's perception of NFL or fantasy players, the NFL landscape. JL, before this show, found 7 juicy, succulent, delicious polls on the line. He's going to propose one of those polls to a contestant. He may ask me, hey, Simon, what percentage of people chose side A in this poll? It's always going to be side A that we're guessing. So that first option is always the one that you're guessing for. I'll give a percentage, say 50%. Pat and Joey, your job would then be to say whether you think the actual answer, the actual percentage of people that chose side A is over or under the number that I set. I'm setting the line. You guys pick over or under. The closer I am, the more points I'll get. Exactly right is 10. 15 away is 1. It scales up in between there. You guys will get points for correctly picking the over under. 2 to be exact if you get it right. We'll go like this through 6 polls, 2 full rounds with an extra rule added in that second round that we'll get to when we get there. Before the final poll, in which there is no more of the over-under nonsense. It's just guessing a number. Whoever's closest in that one will get 5 points unless they're right on, in which case they will get 10. And the person with the most points is our champion for today. There's one more rule. I always forget. I always forget to say it, and I say it at the end. There is another option besides over and under. It has never been successfully done on the show, but it is available to you. You can queen bee any guess you want, and that means you don't think it's over. You don't think it's under. You think the person guessing got it exactly right. So you are taking the statistically improbable outcome. But if you get it right, you're going to get 10 points as well, along with the person who guessed it.
I feel like today's the day of the queen bee. I feel like it's going to happen today.
Wow.
I feel that every day, and I'm wrong every time.
It just has to happen one of these days, right?
It has to. El Gallo in the chat. What's up, dudes?
What up?
What up? What up? All right, you guys ready to get in this game?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right. I set the order here. Joey, you are going first, followed by Pat, followed by Simon.
Sounds good. Oh, Pat, did we lose you?
Maybe we did.
Oh, I can hear you, though.
Ooh,
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know why I disappeared.
I want the
go.
movie Her, but instead of Scarlett Johansson, it's Pat Fitzmaurice. Your voice was so calming in my ears right there. It was just like if I ever have like a sentient computer, I want your voice to be the voice of the AI, Pat.
The same storyline though,
no.
You fall in
Me
love
and
with
Pat
that,
are
and
not
then Pat leaves you.
Actually, you know what? That is exactly what's happening.
I'm okay
You're
with the
right.
storyline as well. Like I'll take what I can get.
So flattered, Simon. Oh my gosh.
It's a good movie, by the way. Yeah,
it is.
A great movie.
It is. That means you have the voice, the voice equivalent of Scarlett Johansson, Pat, which is pretty impressive. It's quite the compliment. All right, Joey.
Scarlett Johansson. Then I don't know who's third.
You
There's
guys
probably
don't
a pretty
know.
big tear break after that.
you guys don't know how much my brain's wanting to explode right now with like her knowledge and like conversation. I'm just having to be quiet.
Bad Joey.
It's killing
Put
me.
it away.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about
All right.
football.
I'm a big Joaquin Phoenix fan, Joey. You like Joaquin Phoenix? I think he really
should have got his academy
He's
award for
baiting
her,
you,
actually.
Joey. He's baiting you. Don't do it. Don't take it.
Mhm,
All right, Joey.
mhm.
All right, here's your first poll. I don't know why
ready.
I'm looking at my notebook because it's not written in there. It is over here. Who hates being targeted more, Allen Robinson or Gabriel Davis? What percentage of the public chose Allen Robinson as the player who hates being targeted more?
I'm gonna say that Twitter's been very, very angry with Allen Robinson, with his target share being close to single digits. It's really terrible. And Gabriel Davis still has that love on Twitter, so I'm gonna go that Allen Robinson won this, and I think he won it pretty handily. I'm gonna go 68%.
68%.
Yeah, 68 sounds about right.
Locking that in.
Let me do a little math. Yeah, I'll stick with 68. I think Robinson won this.
All right, lock it in. 68% of people chose Allen Robinson in this poll. Pat, do you think the actual percentage is over or under Joey's guess of 68%?
Oh man, people are not happy with A-Rob on Twitter.
No,
And I
they
feel
are
like
not.
there's more leeway for Gabe Davis, I think, even though I don't know that there should be, but I think it's going to be over. I think it's going to be well over, actually.
Could be.
Gonna take the over. All right, Simon, what do you think is the actual percentage over or under Joey's guess of 68%?
These guys are right that Allen Robinson like hater crowd has been very loud, but you know who else has been pretty loud? The Gabe Davis I told you so crowd. Know what I mean? Like the Gabe
They are
Davis haha
incessant.
I told you so. Like, don't get me wrong, I was on that side too, but I'm not out there rubbing in people's faces. But I see it a lot out there. So I think I'm going to take the under. I think there's enough people on that I told you so Gabe Davis crowd that are still just clicking that button out of spite. Like, oh yeah, you want to push his ADP up to the 5th round? Watch this. He hates being targeted.
You want me to keep hitting that button?
I found out my daughter's daycare work person. It's her nephew. Is Gabe Davis.
What?
Yeah.
That
I
is
live in
not-
Orlando. I live in Orlando, so he went to UCF. So when I found out, I was like, "Oh, that's amazing," but I wasn't like shocked. But yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to
I
get
would be
myself an autograph
shocked.
ball and just have to delete all the things I said about him.
We got Albert in the chat saying, hello,
Albert.
everyone. Hello,
What's up,
Albert.
Albert?
Mr.
What's up, buddy?
Scamper, 69%. You naughty cat. 63% for Albert. 77 from Dame. Maria, 55%.
A little low.
Some good guesses. Some good
They are
guesses.
good.
Pretty consolidated, actually. Joey, you guess 68% of people
68.
chose Allen Robinson in this poll. Pat, you took the over. Simon, you took the under.
I did.
The actual percentage of people who chose Allen Robinson over Gabriel Davis as the wide receiver who hates being targeted more is 74%.
No, great guess.
Pretty
Joey.
good guess, Joey. You were just what 6 percentage points away, which is going to give you
Almost,
3
yep.
points. 3 points.
take
Pat, you correctly guessed the over under. You're going to get 2 points. Simon, sorry, no points this round. Better luck
All
next
good.
time.
This is exactly how I like to start games.
If I would have
Know
been
what
a
I mean?
naughty boy, I would have got 5 points.
Yeah, but you thought I'm not going to be a naughty boy.
I was
not
trying to
gonna
be
go
clean for
the mean
FanDuel, and
answer.
look what it cost
Clean
me.
for FanDuel. As
Look what
we
it
spent
cost me.
the first part of the show talking about porno hack and slashers and, and talking about Simon's love affair with that.
Well, I got to
Joey-
redeem myself.
Joey was afraid of getting a spanking from Daddy FanDuel, so he said 68 instead. I know they're
Oh
in
my
the chat
God.
watching.
All right.
How
so-
far can we push them?
Got 3
Can we
points.
keep pushing
we
that
can
line
keep
until
pushing. We can absolutely keep
I'll
pushing.
check my email after the show and then we'll see. But we'll see.
I'm curious, Pat. Are you out on Allen Robinson? What is it time to trade him, drop him, hold him? What are you doing?
Fully out.
Fully out.
Yeah, luckily I kind of wasn't in on him this year, so I don't have to make that decision. But a lot of people have asked me, is it safe to drop him? And I said, yeah, it's pretty safe. I think. I just what sign of hope can there be when Ben Skoranek is getting more targets than Allen Robinson? Like,
What a world.
there's just no coming back from that.
Yeah. Simon, are you agreeing with Pat? Are you dropping Allen Robinson?
I mean, I don't want to, right? Like he's the kind of player where like I sit there and I look at it and I'm like, God, like maybe there's a chance. Like I still believe he has the talent. He's on the Rams. He should be the wide receiver too. And so I don't want to, but we're approaching bye weeks. We just saw 2 top running backs go down injured. We've already had a couple go down injured. Like you're going to be looking at tough roster decisions. And Allen Robinson's a player where if you need a starter, if you got a bye week kid, if Jonathan Taylor's injured, you need to pick up someone to start. Like he's droppable. He's not a must drop in my mind, but he's droppable. You can kick him from your roster and not be too mad about it. Let someone else make that decision every week on whether they're going to start him.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well
Joey,
said.
yeah. What for Gabe Davis? Are you? I know he has dealing with the injury.
Mhm.
Do you think he's gonna come back and light it up like he did in game 1 of week 1 this year?
I don't know if we get game 1 again, but I think we get something in the middle. I mean, Isaiah McKenzie's dealing with an injury too, and I feel like Gabe Davis is the healthier between those two. So he's definitely going to have some work this week. I'm great starting him this week. Where do I have him? I have it up here. I have a wide receiver 30, so I'm totally fine rolling him out. Yeah. So
Is that too
this
high,
borderline.
Pat? Wide receiver 30 this week for Gabe?
No, I think that's about where I am too. And I think it's just this volatile cocktail with him because he is it's just part of his profile that he doesn't draw targets at a very high rate. But when he does get targets, like he's very effective with them. He scores touchdowns at a high percentage of his receptions. He averages a lot of yardage per catch. So big plays, but not enough volume to be consistent. So it's going to be a wild Deshaun Jackson type of ride with him, I think.
Man, those Deshaun Jackson rides are kind of crazy.
How long is it before Van Jefferson can come back?
That's a good question.
Not this week, I don't think. I think there's a
It
couple
was
more
2 weeks ago
right?
he's put on IR or last week? Then he's got 4 games from then?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to
I
double
wanna
check that.
It was 2
Yeah,
weeks
I
ago
wanna
that he
say-
went on IR.
Yeah,
He
I
might
think
be a
Simon's
sneaky-
right.
if you can stash him, if Al Robinson's not doing anything, we know Van Jefferson can play in that offense. He might be somebody, if you've got an open roster spot or an IR spot, slide him in there.
We got Coop in the chat saying, how do you play this game?
Not sure.
We have no idea. We have zero idea. We got A in here saying, my current lineup is Mahomes, James Robinson, Kamara, Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Kittle, Drake London, and Breece Hall, Naeem Hines, and Dave Montgomery, Keenan Allen are in the IR. Would you take anyone out of the starters for Naeem Hines in a full PPR league? So you start Naeem Hines over any of these starters here,
Nope.
Simon? No?
Nope. Not unless any of them get injured between now and Sunday. And you have to make that decision right now, right? So Naeem Hines is staying on my bench.
How about you, Pat?
James Robinson's a slam dunk start this week, and that's probably one of the more decisive ones. Deontay Johnson's the only one I would consider, but I'm still starting Deontay over him.
I'd want Breece Hall in there before Naeem Hines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
Hall
been playing
played,
decently.
yeah, and he played like 2/3 of the offensive snaps. The dude's got like 27 targets already or something like that. It's just, I mean, it's his backfield now.
No one's really talking about it, though. It's just kind of all quiet on the Breece Hall front.
It's because it's the Jets and Zach Wilson's back. As soon as Joe Flacco got put away, people were sick of talking about them. I said put away. Like he wasn't.
As soon as they put Flacco back in his box.
Yeah, they put the Flacco back now they can trade him in near mint condition, right? Instead of in mint condition.
Yeah, they had to
we've got a barely used Flacco. We only used
Yeah.
him for 4 games. Come
like 80
if you want him.
It's like some 400 attempts or something stupid like that.
Say barely used if
7,000
you look at
attempts.
the games metric, but he threw like 18. He threw a season's worth of pass attempts for the Jets in 4 games.
Right. You barely used him. I mean, you put him like in between the spokes of your bike. Like, pretty heavy usage, man.
Yeah.
You only rode 2 miles, but that card was right in between the wheels.
Yeah, you were redlining the whole time. We got one more question before we get into our next poll here. Baby Santa asks, sup fellas, half PPR trade question, Saquon plus AJ Brown plus DeAndre Hopkins for Jonathan Taylor and CMC plus Pickens or Dobbs. Thoughts on this? What do you think, Joey? Are you taking this?
Yeah.
Man.
I love trades like this. I just love trades.
That's
If I saw this go through in my league, I would be like just like it was like this
Top
morning.
heavy.
We've been getting some blockbuster trades. This is like, you know what? Forget my draft. We're starting over.
I don't even know why I don't even know why I'm asking. Do you get to pick between Pickens and Dobbs? Because I would take it. I mean, that's just it. If it's a home run, it's a home run. But the high ankle sprain, if it has a high ankle sprain for Jonathan Taylor, does worry me a little bit because it could linger through the season. But man, I can't really pass that up. I don't think. Saquon's been so good this year. Yeah, I'd probably take it.
I more meant not like home run as in this is a must accept, but home run as in this is all the heavy hitters in your league.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're talking JT, CMC, Saquon, and AJ Brown in one trade. Blockbuster. That's nuts, is what I meant by that.
What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I think I'd take that one too, man. I'm just impressed by the magnitude of that trade. Like, if I was, involved in that trade, I would need to smoke a cigarette after making that deal. Like that is a big deal.
Yeah,
do you ever have trades where the players involved, they're so big that you just get scared off of trying to make the trade because you just feel like you're going to be wrong either way? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that kind of feels like.
The dynasty trades where you start by like talking about some kind of medium level guys and all of a sudden you're layering the trade. Escalates. You're trading half your roster away to anher guy.
All your starting roster.
So I love Baby Santa coming here saying, I'm so nervous.
I love Baby Santa's avatar. Not what I would picture Baby Santa to look like.
Yeah, he aged. He had a weird aging process. If that's how he looked when he was a baby.
Great question. Reminder: throw your questions in the chat. We'll try to get to them in between rounds. But if we don't, we're doing office hours right after this on our YouTube channel, Front Yard Fantasy. It should just redirect you if you got autoplay turned on. So, yeah, save your questions for then. That's all we're doing then. All right, Pat. We are moving on to your poll, my friend. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here it is. Big one tonight. Big one. Who do you like, Rams or Niners? What percentage of the public chose the Rams in this poll?
I'm going to say it was 42%.
42%. Locking that in?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Locked in. Simon, the actual percentage of people who chose the Rams was that over or under 42%.
And I'm guessing this poll ended before that game started.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Just
did.
making sure. Just making sure there weren't some like cutesy people in there all voting after the game ended. You said 42%?
I
Yep.
did.
That is such a good guess because I was thinking like around 50-50 because people are still like, I feel like people still are like the Rams are gonna get it together any week now, right? Like they're sitting there going like, this is the Super Bowl winning team. They haven't put it together yet. And whenever I say people, I mean me as well. I keep thinking, oh, this Rams team is going to start looking better. This offense is going to start clicking. It's not just going to be Cooper Kupp. I'll take the over, but barely. Like I think it's still under 50%, but I think it's between that 42 to 50 window. You know what? I think that guess is so good. It's time. I'm going to queen bee it. I'm changing my mind. I did not feel comfortable with that. Like if I think it's less than 50%, I think it's in that range. I'm taking the queen bee right here.
All right, queen bee. You locking that bad boy in?
Oh, I'm locking that bad boy in.
All right.
Man, okay.
All right, Joey.
Game strategy wise, I kind of have to queen bee too.
Or
because if they both get it, I am trailing big time. But if they both get it wrong, okay, that's true.
You could build your lead.
I want to go the over on it because I feel like, and I'm going to use a reference from like the 1980s, but I feel like the 49ers are like the Rodney Dangerfield of the NFL because they don't get any respect. Because nobody really ever thinks of them as this great team, and they really are. I mean, their defense right now is unbelievable. But I still think people, Super Bowl, the Rams won the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say over, but just barely. I think it's a good queen bee to have, but I think it still might be over.
I wish before every single one-off game, they had Danny Trejo come on with like a little commercial beforehand, just kind of hyping everyone up about how disrespected that team is. Because I've never been more fired up for the Rams than I was after Danny got off my screen. He was like, oh, you think we just won a Super Bowl, but we're still disrespected. And he got me believing. I was like, yeah, the Rams are disrespected. Like I was ready to fight someone for Danny. Like anyone with a 49ers jersey was on site after Danny was done talking to me. I need that for every game. You should look.
Doesn't Danny live in San Antonio?
I don't know. Maybe I can go knock on his door.
You know what? I have zero idea, but that checks out just from how it sounds. That sounds right.
I think he might live in LA, but I feel like he's from San Antonio. But I don't know. We can talk about movies later.
He looks like
Remember, Joey?
He looks
like
talk
movies.
All right, Pat. You guessed 42% of people chose the Rams. Simon Queen beat it. Joey took the over. We got some guesses here in the chat. If I can find them, 33% from Mr. Scampers. Ooh. Albert, 45%, 53% from Dame, 52% from Siobhan.
Come on, Siobhan.
Reminder, if this is your first time watching, throw some guesses in the chat. We love it when you play along. It's super fun, too. We will also praise you if you get it right and probably goof you if you get it wrong. All right, guys, the actual percentage of people, take that bad boy down, actual percentage of people who chose the Rams in this poll was 66%.
No!
Wow.
That was kind of surprising to me. The 49ers just looked dominant in the game, but the Rams, I think sentiment going into it, I think a lot of people think like you're thinking, Simon, of like the Rams are just won the Super Bowl. They're fantastic. And maybe they're not recognizing as many of those offensive issues. What do you think? You think the Pats or the Rams can turn it around, Pat?
Oh man, that offense just looks so dysfunctional right now. Like they can't run the ball. They nothing is working except Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee. It's just kind of a strain. Like Stafford is just making these colossal mistakes and turnovers. It just their offensive line is so bad right now. That is the big problem. They just can't get past. They can't run the ball and they can't protect Stafford. So I'm skeptical.
Andrew Whitworth looked good on that Prime stream, though, Prime broadcast.
He did, and I'm sure he's glad. Like, oh, I jumped ship at just the right time. Got my ring. I'm out. See you guys.
I feel like people are forgetting. Like, I feel like there was maybe like the Jimmy G effect as well, right? But people are forgetting that a very similar 49ers team, like they didn't just make the playoffs last season. They made it to their conference championship game, right? Like they played in the NFC championship last year. Like this is a team that also had a very good season. But whenever I think the 49ers, like that's not the first thing that comes to mind. I'm not thinking about how good of a season they had last year, how about their playoff run. I'm thinking about, oh, Trey Lance just got injured. Oh, Elijah Mitchell's out. They've got Jeff Wilson. But like that's not too much different than what they were running last year, right? So maybe it's just a constant underestimation of these 49ers.
The 49ers a contender, Joey, this year? Think
Yeah.
they get like a likely contender? Give him some. What's the percent probability that Niners win?
The Super Bowl?
Yeah.
So I would say they have like a 40% chance of going to the conference championship game.
40%. That's pretty high.
Yeah, I think they could make the conference championship game. And then from that, I mean, I think even though the 49ers look great, I think the AFC has some real powerhouses. So I'm going to give them a 19% chance of winning the Super Bowl.
That's 19%. Very high. That's They're sitting at plus 1,700 right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Same as the Ravens. Team above them is the Rams at plus 1,600, but so in that range. So there's only 6 teams ahead of them in as far as like favorites go, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Think this Jimmy G? You think Jimmy G can lead this offense to Super Bowl, Pat?
No. And he is my biggest problem with the 49ers going to the Super Bowl. Like I just don't think he can lead a long march through the playoffs.
It's like Kirk Cousins. He's like Kirk like a little bit better than Kirk Cousins.
26 minutes and 54 seconds.
That's how long it took for me to mention Kirk Cousins living rent-free in my own head. We got Tully in here asking Montgomery, Dobbins, and Hines, which one should I sit this week? What do you think, Simon?
Between Montgomery, Dobbins, and Hines, I'm sitting Hines out of the – well, it depends on if Montgomery's playing, right? Yeah. Like I'm not sure Montgomery's playing. If Montgomery's not playing, then it's Dobbins and Hines. So Thursday night, you got to make that call now. It's Montgomery sitting on your bench, unfortunately. Yeah. Hines would be the one I would want to sit if we had all that info, but since we don't have it, Nyheim Hines plays tonight. I think that's the way you got to go.
You agree with him, Pat?
Simon dissected that perfectly, yes.
I'm with Simon too. Mm-hmm. Not much more to add there. And one more question before we get into our next poll. Quinn. What up, Quinn? It's a trade Jonathan Taylor, Miles Sanders, and Deontay Johnson to receive Jamar Chase and Austin Eckler. You doing this trade, Joe?
I am. I'm going to do this trade. For me, Eckler and JT, I would trade JT for Eckler straight up right now. And then Sanders and Deontay to get Jamar Chase, who I think is going to rebound this season. I am making this trade.
What about you, Pat?
I do too. I don't know if Deontay has a lot of value anymore. Just like not really doing much with those targets. You know, like he's averaging under 6 yards per target. I think Pickens is like a star in the making. And I think we're going to see Deontay's target totals start to shrink a little bit. And we kind of saw it last week with, Pickett not really looking his way in the second half.
Yeah, I think that's going to be probably one of the most tuned into games in terms of fantasy managers, right? Just wanting to see what Pickett's going to be, you know, what that was the relationship going to be. Where is he going to spread it? It's going to be pretty interesting.
Are we throwing out the Pickett performance this week though? Cause it's against Buffalo.
God,
like, I kind of want
just
to.
Brutal. It's not just against, it's not even just Buffalo. Like the next 4 games are just brutal, right? For him, like welcome to the NFL. You get to start with the Bills, then the Bucks, then the Dolphins, then the Eagles. Like, good God, Pickett. I'm so sorry, man.
Well, the Dolphins game, he might be able to put some stats up.
Yeah.
Because that Dolphins defense isn't too incredible at this point. But sorry, Siobhan, that I said that about your Dolphins. But
about your Dolphins. As if it's like he's got like a group of dolphins that you just insulted.
Yeah, as you said that, he looked over in the tank and they were all pouting.
I never told you guys. The reason I get into all these like animal parks is Siobhan's like a dolphin trainer. Yeah.
Wait, is that real?
I don't know if that's true. That could be true. I don't know.
I'm not going to tell you if it's true or not.
That's wild. I'm going to think about that for a while.
In high school, I dated a girl who her career, whenever you asked her what she wanted to do whenever she grew up, her answer was help kids with dolphins. I never got much clarity on what that meant. We didn't date for very long, but she wanted to open a center that helped children with dolphins. A very noble cause, but I think she had some details she needed to work out before that happened. I'm wondering if she ever got there. I'll have to look it up, see if there's the Kid Dolphin Help Center that's set up somewhere in Georgia now. Also in Georgia, in like rural Georgia.
No dolphins. Oh my God. It's like one of those like above ground backyard pools.
People have dreams, okay? It doesn't don't let your geography dictate what you can and can't do for a living.
Or your geology.
Or your geology. If you want to be a scuba diver.
Did you see her in Blackfish? Did you watch Blackfish? Just to make sure she wasn't in that. Okay.
She was not in Blackfish. No, she was credited though. in the credits.
All right, we're going on to our next poll. Simon, this one is for you. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Chris Olave, trade value check, PPR. Which would you rather have, I guess? Chris Olave or James Robinson? What percentage of the public chose Chris Olave?
How are you going to do a trade? This is a stupid poll. Like, whoever wrote this poll, I'm talking directly to you. Look me in my eyes. You can't do a trade value check with two players whose values are very all over the place, right? Like, James Robinson's value is super volatile. Olave's value is super volatile. Like, they've both skyrocketed since the season started. Put a steady player as the second option whenever we're going in there. Someone whose value is
saying that specifically to the poster of this poll.
Yes,
right?
Specifically to the poster of this poll. Like, this doesn't tell me anything because I don't even know how people are valuing James Robinson. So, like, who cares if people value Olave over him? Because I don't know how the public's valuing James Robinson right now. So I resent this poll. I'll give you an answer anyways, JL. But
say more mean things about him.
Yeah. was this Pat's poll?
That would be funny.
I'm just ripping into it. Yeah, Pat got awfully quiet when I was going through that tirade. He's like, oh, well, I guess
I was just curious what everybody thought.
God.
I think people are still going to. James Robinson, I think, should be the winner of this poll because of the positional scarcity at running back and what we've seen him do so far. And I think he will win, but I don't think it's going to be as high as it should be because of Travis Etienne. And year after year, I fell for it this year. We've seen people fall for it for a couple years in a row now. The idea that James Robinson isn't a good running back, right? Like, there's just this idea that he's not a good running back. He's not a great running back. And he keeps showing us that he is. I'll say 54%. Or no, other way around. 46% on the Olave side.
46% locking that in?
Yeah, lock it in.
46%. Joey. It's the actual percentage over or under. Simon's guess of 46%.
Man, I'll tell you. I think Simon said a good number. But I'm starting to wonder if Olave is going to win this. I really am, because I feel like his role is a little more solidified than James Robinson's is, even though Robinson's, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go Olave's side on this. So I'm going to take the over, but I don't think it's over by much. I think Simon's going to get 5 points on this.
Oh, I
All right,
so.
you're taking sorry. Nope, it's still round one. I got goofed there for a second. I thought we didn't introduce the new mechanic.
Oh, no.
All right, you took the over, right, Joey?
Yes.
All right.
Pat, slightly over.
Actual percentage over or under, Simon's guess 46%.
This is redraft, right?
This is the context that we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I will say, yeah, I would probably assume the same thing, but yeah.
I'm actually the exuberance for James Robinson has been so over the top early this season. I actually think it's going to be under Simon's guess. Probably not by much. Simon's pretty spot on. I'm almost tempted to go Queen Bee here, but I think I'm going to go under.
Ooh, the reciprocal Queen Bee. That would have been wild.
That means one of us understands statistics and one of us doesn't.
Mr. Scammer said 92%, Dame 62%, Albert 58%, Siobhan 75%. Good guesses. And Mr. Scammer said retraction. I thought dynasty 69%.
I'm starting James Robinson this week over Olave, but just rest of season, I feel like I don't know. We'll see what the poll says.
We will. Well, the actual percentage of people who chose Olave in this poll was 65%.
Wow.
65%. This poll came in from our good friend Alfredo Brown, the pretend GM.
Alfredo.
It's my mom's favorite fantasy analyst.
Really? Fanny analyst.
Well, if he analyzed fannies, I'm sure she would watch that too. So
I would watch the heck out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch Alfredo do anything.
Wait.
Yes.
What were the guesses there? Who guessed what? Because I didn't get any points, but who guessed over?
So Simon, you guessed 46%. You were 19 percentage points away, so you get nothing. Joey guessed the over, which is going to give him 2 points. Pat guessed the under, no points this round. And that brings your score to 7-2-0.
Ooh, not a good first round for me. We're sitting down there at 0. That's okay though. We got a whole second round to come back.
We do.
And a new mechanic to help us come back.
Yeah, you want to explain it while I update the score?
Yeah, well, Jail's updating the score. So, Pat, now in this next round, we have a new rule, and everybody watching, instead of just over and under in Queen Bee, there are now 2 more options you can choose as well. Those would be way over and way under. So if you think your opponent's guess is very wrong, 15 percentage points or more wrong, then you can guess way over or way under. But it is a double or nothing mechanic. So if you guess way over and they're only over by 13%, you're going to get 0 points. But if they are over by 15 or more, you will get 4 points instead of that normal 2 for picking the over under. So if you think your opponent made a bad guess, like I just did, more than 20 percentage points away, then you can go in there and guess the way over, way under, and you'll get double points for that.
You were 19. That would have been brutal if someone took the way over.
Yeah, that would have been brutal. That would have just been insult to injury right there, sitting down here at 0 points.
All right, we'll hit these quick and then get into our next polls here.
Cool.
Totally asking David Montgomery, Dobbins, Hines, which one do I sit in this week in PPR? I feel like we had this question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think it just got posted twice. Rick's asking, would you trade Eckler and Deontay Johnson for Cooper Kupp, full PPR, 1 keeper? What do you think about this one, Pat?
I would take Kupp. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's like Deontay just doesn't have that much value anymore, and I would rather have Kupp than Eckler. So
Yeah.
Deontay's probably on your bench at this point. Like I don't know. He's not in my starting lineups in the leagues where I have him this week. So I'm down for this as well. Eckler Kupp. That's exactly how I'm viewing it. Pat, Joey, you're probably the highest on Eckler rest of season out of us, though.
I am, but there's a hive out there. The Cooper Kupp should have been number 1 overall. And they were championing it all off season in drafts. And I would take Cooper Kupp number 1 overall right now if I had to redraft my teams. And Eckler is not. He's not close to number 1. So and Deontay, like Pat said, the value's not there anymore like it was. So I'm keeping Kupp.
Totally fair. And Tully asking, what was the answer? The answer was 65%. Dane was the closest.
I think
62%.
Tully's asking about their question that they posted again to get answered. What was the answer to their question?
Do you remember what it was?
And we said to sit Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just we're not sure of the health.
Exactly. We're not sure if he's going to
makes
play,
sense.
and you have to decide tonight because of Nyheim Hines. So unfortunately, it's almost like forcing your hand unless you want to take that unnecessary risk of if Montgomery's playing.
All right, we're going to get into our next poll. I see some more questions in here. We are going to hit them in between the polls. If we don't get to your question, though, we're doing office hours right after this on our own YouTube channel, Front Yard Fantasy. It should just redirect you right there. Joey, you are going first. You have the next poll. You're going first in this round.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Cool.
Cool.
Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Serious question. Who is worse, Baker Mayfield or Carson Wentz? What percentage of the public chose Baker Mayfield as the worst player?
If I was in the chat, I would say 100% Baker Mayfield. And I don't like Carson Wentz, but Baker Mayfield has looked terrible this year. I am going to go. I got. I want to be over a naughty boy. Oh man, I'm gonna say 71%. Oh,
71%. You locking that in?
I hope it screws you out of 5 points again. Like I hope you're 6 away or 7 or 8 away. Like just in that range.
Yeah, I'm a 71. I'm gonna be
71. All right. Yeah. Pat, do you think the actual percentage is over or under or way over or way under or Queen Bee? Joey's guess of 71%.
That was such a good guess, Joey. I mean,
Thank
that
you.
was like right. I was pinning it down as like 72 or 73 in my head. So I guess I'm gonna say over.
Okay. Gonna take the over. All right, Simon. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's already a contingency that loves to hate Baker Mayfield, right? Like that existed before this season. And a pretty loud vocal one. And Carson Wentz, I feel like it wasn't as like cool to hate him. Know what I mean? Like people disliked him, but it was just like, yeah, of course you dislike Carson Wentz. But Baker, it was like you had to make it a part of your personality. Now there's even more reason to hate Baker. And I think he's going to unfortunately get the bad end of the bargain because of the way this Carolina Panthers offense is looking. Like it's not just Baker. This is a incompetent team going on right now with bad coaching. I'll take the over. And I think it might be like a solid 10 percentage points over, but not quite in that way.
I hope it's not. I hope it's like 2.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Mm-hmm. Over, not under.
You're going to take the over.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
before you reveal that, we had a question from Andrew Cooper. Said, "Question, guys, how come this Pat guy so smart about football?"
smart.
Coop.
Can you let us know, Pat, how you so smart about
What's your
football?
secret?
See, it's like Coop. I mean, Coop is like a genius, and he's just kind of setting me up to look good. I appreciate it, Coop. But
Always humble, Pat.
Every morning I wake up and I listen to Coop, and I'm just blown away every time I'm driving in my car, and just his knowledge and everything. And he paid me $5 to say this. Thank you.
Oh, pretty good deal.
What up, Carlos? Welcome,
what up, Carlos? Better late than never. What up? All right. Joey, you get 71% of people chose Baker Mayfield in this poll. Both Pat and Simon took the over. We got some guesses here in the chat. 55 from Dame, 81 from Mr. Scampers, 77% from Albert. Guessing Baker on the Baker Mayfield side of this. The actual percentage that chose Baker Mayfield in this poll was 41%.
What?
You know what? It's a win-win for me.
Wow.
So that's a full skunk. That is a full skunk. Nobody's getting points at this round. That's pretty wild.
You know what?
People, thank you for not liking Carson Wentz, but this was the wrong time to do it.
People hate
it
Wentz.
was what we're seeing is the hatred for Matt Rule has now overpowered the hatred for Baker Mayfield. Know what I mean? They were battling for supremacy there, and now Matt Rule's like, oh yeah, now they hate me the most, and so now people are not blaming Baker as much.
Is that it? Are we getting this laid at the feet of Matt Rule and what's his name, McAdoo?
Yeah,
like, is that
100%.
it? The excuse. Or did we take this poll when they were still doing the At Home with Baker Mayfield commercials and he was still getting some sympathy because those were funny?
Yeah. Like, oh, he's got some comedy, some value.
No. I didn't realize there was this pent up hatred of Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah. It came out of nowhere from all of a sudden something happened in Indianapolis and everybody turned on him. I missed the event that happened or that caused it, but it definitely happened.
I was running like 15 burners at the time about Carson Wentz.
So. It's all you.
Yeah, but I stopped.
Simon, what do you think about this one? Pittman or Gabe Davis this week?
Ooh, Pittman does have a tough matchup tonight, right? But man, with Jonathan Taylor out, if the Colts want any shot in this game, Pittman's gonna have to be heavily involved, right? Like he's just gonna have to be. I know it's a tough matchup, but I still feel safer with his volume and looking at how this game's gonna go. The Colts aren't going to stand a chance if Pittman's not heavily involved in my eyes. So I'll go Pittman over Gabe Davis, even with the tough matchup.
Yeah. And Pat, I want to throw this one to you. Would you, Anthony's asking, he's got a very urgent trade. Got to decide the next 24 hours. Would you trade away Najee Harris for James Robinson as Miles Sanders, Damian Pierce, Jeff Wilson Jr., and Rashad Penny? It's full PPR league.
God, man, that's hard. I'm probably hanging on to Najee. I'm not sure that's the right answer, but
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that things turn under Pickett enough that we're not going to see the value Najee had last year, but hopefully at least he preserves, I don't know, maybe 70% of last year's value, 60%. It's better than we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I'd be way more okay with being wrong keeping Najee than being wrong trading him away for James Robinson. No, that's one. If I keep Najee and I'm wrong, fine, I'm cool with it. But if I trade him away for James Robinson and he ends up being what we expected, I'll be so mad at myself. So that's a filter I run these through. I'm not making that move. I wouldn't forgive myself if I did that. And
I do hope Anthony started Sanders, Pierce, and Penny last week just for his own sake.
Yeah, just for
that'd be awesome.
That would be. I saw a tweet from your fantasy pro bro, Pat D bro. He tweeted out about ETN and how the usage between ETN and James Robinson could flip later on in the season. I'm actually fully in line with that. I don't think that it's unlikely that Travis Etienne is going to always be this marginalized in the group. They're looking his way. They're giving him opportunities. It's just not quite clicking yet. So for me, I would rather have Najee here.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of positive game script with Jacksonville in the first 3 weeks, and then they didn't have it in week 4, and I think ETN actually had more snaps than Robinson. So maybe that's it.
Maybe, yeah. All right, let's get into our next poll here. Pat, this one is for you, friend. Let's see. This is a 12-team Superflex PPR league. Which side would you rather roster? Nick Chubb or Najee Harris? What percentage of the public chose Nick Chubb? I did not plan this, by the way.
Wow.
I mean, I guess I technically did, but
This poll just showed up.
All right. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna call it an even 70%.
even 70. You locking that bad boy in?
Yeah, lock it in.
All right, Simon, what do you think is the actual percentage? Over, under, way under, or queen bee equal to Pat's guess of 70%?
This should be. It doesn't say dynasty. If this is redraft, this should be 100% Nick Chubb. I feel like with what we're seeing, this should be 100%. So I'm very tempted to go way over, but 85 is a high threshold to hit. Like, I'm going to do it. I got 0 points. I'm going way over.
Going way over. Locking that in?
Lock it in.
All right. Joey, actual percentage over or under 70%?
I'm just going to take the over and hopefully get my 2 points. Nick Chubb's the number 1 running back in fantasy football right now. Najee Harris, I honestly, he's got to be outside the top 12. So, yeah, it's Nick Chubb for me. And if people on Twitter are usually they're in the pipeline. So, yep.
All right. Simon taking the way over. Joey taking the over on Pat's guess of 70%. We got some guesses here in the chat. Carlos, 67%.
Oh.
Albert, 60%. Scampers, 91. Smoky Cat, 71. 72 from Brandon. 81 from Dame. Moving quick here because we are running a little low on time, but the actual percentage of people who chose Nick Chubb in this poll was 73%. Pat, you are 3 percentage points away, which is going to give you 5 points, which is nice. And then Joey, you did correctly pick the over under, which is going to give you 2 points. Simon, I'm sorry. You doubled down. You leave.
I'm not out yet. I'm sitting at 0, but it's my turn. I still got a poll left, and we got that final. We could be looking at 20 points between these 2 polls if I'm perfect.
Could be.
There was a very handsome man that once pulled that off on the show. I'm just going to say that.
I don't believe you.
I know you did it one time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jail didn't believe the handsome part. He knew I did it. He just didn't think I was handsome, which is going to haunt my dreams tonight.
All right, I got the score back up. I didn't see which one was the closest in the chat. 70. We got a 71. 72 from Brandon.
Oh, wow. Good job, Brandon.
Nice job. Pat, your guess is very close.
Good job, Pat.
This game is close. You brought this game. It's back. Simon, we are moving on to your last poll, penultimate poll before our final one. Are you ready?
Before we do that, Vincenzo in here asking y'all hiring. Vincenzo, a position just opened up. Someone to text me the answers while we're playing poll perception. So if you're interested in that, let me know.
How much does it pay?
Yeah, I'll send you pictures of my feet. That's all I can do, though.
I pay Dame $15 an hour.
15,
so
wow.
$15. Yeah.
Honestly, my feet pics sell for more. So really, this is a bargain.
It's a deal. Yeah.
Like, this is a deal that you're getting right here.
All right, Simon, here's your last poll. This week for Hall of Fame, a Hall of Fame image should be, this comes from Good Morning Football, the show. The week 4 Hall of Fame image should be the Mahomes Houdini act, Zach Wilson's gritty, Matt LaFleur's relief, or Robert Saleh's pumped up. Robert Saleh pumped up. What do you think, Simon? What percentage of the public chose Mahomes Houdini act in this one?
I have no idea, but the only one of these I can precisely picture is Zach Wilson's gritty, because if you made me bet $1 million, like, can Zach Wilson hit a gritty and like look smooth doing it? I would have said absolutely not. No way in hell can that boy hit the gritty and look good doing it. Dude killed it. Like, he killed it out there. Solid 25% each. I don't think Mahomes Houdini act is going to be the top choice. I'm going to go 19%. 19% on the Mahomes Houdini act.
19%. Locking that in?
Yeah, let's lock it in.
All right. Joey, the actual percentage over, under, way over, way under. Simon's guess of 19%. 2
points. One, the Mahomes Houdini act would be my number 1 pick. And 2, no one likes head coaches. So we're looking at really like 40-40, 10-10 right now. So I'm going to go over. I'm not going to go way over because I'm not that confident in myself. But yeah, so I think it's over.
All right, Joey taking the over. Pat, what do you think? Over or under Simon's guess, 19%?
I like Joey's reasoning on that. I'm going to go over 2. I don't think people are going to back the coaches on this one. So no doubt, like Zach Wilson is the leader here, but I think Mahomes is probably second behind him. And I agree. I can't go way over. Just got to go regular over.
Regular old over. All right. We got some guesses here in the chat. 19 from Carlos, 42% from Scampers, 50% from Albert, and 50 from Dame. Their uniform, chat.
Mahomes did it against my team, and I was cheering when it happened. Like, it was so cool.
All right, Simon, you guessed 19% of people chose Mahomes Houdini Act in this poll. Both Joey and Pat took the over.
Yeah.
The actual percent of people chose side A in this poll.
I'm just so wrong.
It's 53%.
Yeah, very wrong.
Okay.
Way over.
So way over would have hit. But that's all right. Joey and Pat, you are each going to get 2 points.
And now I can't win. I Joey couldn't get a point and me not. I can no longer beat Joey, even if I get this one exactly right.
But if I get it wrong, right?
Pat can still win because you got 11 now, and I can only get 10.
I'm saying
here.
you could. Oh, you can't because you only get 10.
I can't win. I can't win anymore. That's okay. Who even likes winning? Not me. I'm not even.
I didn't even want to win.
Simon, you still get to play though because you could mess me out of it.
Yeah, I could mess you.
You can mess him out of it. You can totally mess him out of it.
So still play because that's fun.
Don't say that ever again.
All right. We're going into our final poll. This poll is going to work a little differently than the other ones. Each contestant is going to write down their percentage guess on this poll. The closest contestant is going to get 5 points. If any of the contestants hit it exactly right, they're going to get 10 points. If any of them have the same answer, they're going to share the same fate. So same reward or lack thereof. Pat, do you have something to write your answer down on, either phone or paper?
Let me go and run and get something. I'll be right back.
Yeah, take your time. We got to answer some of these questions while we wait for Pat. You guys ready?
Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking one of these days, not today, but one of these days I'm going to break out my new pen that I've had for 4 months that I've yet to even put ink in. I just forgot it was in there. I was just staring at it.
Gotta fill that bad boy
sexy.
up.
Oh, I gotta ink it all up. I'm gonna mess it right up.
Smokey the Cat asking, guys, hope you're doing well. Smokey the Cat. Thought
Smokey.
on this trade: Kareem Hunt, Khalil Herbert, and David Montgomery for AJ Dillon and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. Cool with it. You get Tyreek, and then AJ Dillon is comparable to me for one of these. I'm doing this in a heartbeat. It's difficult, I guess, to trade away 3 running backs would be the only concern. Like, do you have
depth?
You need to have at least 2 more running backs on your team, probably, if you're adding AJ Dillon as the third. But if you got the depth to do this, then I'm all
slam
about
dunk. I think I would do it regardless because I think you could flip Tyreek for probably more better depth if you wanted.
Yeah.
Another question. Ron Solo asked, "What's up, fellas? CEH or Josh Jacobs full PPR?" What do you think on this one, Joey?
I am going to go with Josh Jacobs this week. I'm his top 12 running back against Kansas City. I mean, coming off that game he had last week, unless he's tired, it's hard not to roll him out there.
What do you think, Pat? Are you with them?
Oh man, I think I've got for this week, I've got CEH ranked 1 spot higher. Like the difference in Jacobs' numbers and losses and wins is just stark. And they are a big underdog in Kansas City. Like, I don't think they're winning that game. So, I tend to think Jacobs' numbers are not going to be that great, even though the usage has been fantastic lately.
It's good insight, though. Like the game script thing, that's not something that would be obvious, you know? We got one more before we get into our last poll. Would you say Devonta Smith is better rest of the season over Brandon Cooks? Would you say that, Simon? Is that something you would come out of your mouth?
I mean, would that come out of my mouth? Possibly. Is it what I think? I say a lot of things just all the time. I just never shut up. I'm sitting at home and my dog's like, Jesus, just stop talking. It's like audible sighs from my dog when we're home alone together because he's the only one who has to listen to me. Would I say that? Maybe. I think they're comparable players rest of the season. These are both wide receiver 2s. Jalen Hurts looks like he's actually going to be able to support 2 fantasy relevant wide receivers. Like they're going to throw the ball enough in this Philly offense. But you're going to probably see more volatility with Devonta Smith the rest of the season than you will with Brandon Cooks. Give me Smith rest of the season.
Give me Smith or give me death. All right, guys. Let's get into our last poll.
Yep.
You got your writing utensils?
I do.
Excellent. Here's the last one. Which is better? Boneless wings or bone-in wings? What percentage of the public chose boneless wings as the better option here? So go ahead and write down your answers. We'll reveal them once everybody's ready. Chat, you know what to do. And while you guys are thinking of that, I'll answer this question real quick to DJ. Ask him, which is the better Colt running back to play tonight, Lindsey or Hines? It's absolutely Hines. It's absolutely Hines over Lindsey. I think they just signed Lindsey recently, right?
Well, he's been on the practice squad.
Yeah, I mean, they just brought him up from the practice squad.
Yeah, but that's because like he's going to play more of that like bruiser role. Know what I mean? It's similar to like when like it was Nyheim Hines plays an entirely different role. Not necessarily that Nyheim Hines is going to be the lead back. I think we see Philip Lindsay with more carries than Nyheim Hines tonight, but that doesn't mean he's a better play. But
revenge
as
game
long as
narrative is really fun,
and it is fun to do a revenge game narrative.
It is.
I don't know. I'm not feeling hyped on Hines tonight. I'm not feeling it. Ooh, sorry. I spent the first 5 minutes of this right here, this question, thinking about. I saw a really weird Twitter post the other day where some guy was saying like a comparison. It was like, this is like boneless wings, just an inferior version of a better product. But I'm forgetting what sports take he was comparing boneless wings to, and now I can't remember. It was definitely a sports take. It was something, and now I'll never know. And now I got to try to think about this.
Was it like XFL to NFL?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that clear cut. It was a little bit.
Pat, you got your answer?
I do, yes.
Just waiting on Simon. While we're waiting for Simon, I'm not going to try and pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Half PPR, start 2, Godwin, Olave, Hines, or James Conner. What do you think, Pat?
I think it'd be Olave and Connor for me. Just like I want to play Godwin, but I feel like, did you see like every time he got up off the ground last Sunday night, it looked like he was in intense pain.
Yeah.
Like I want to see a show me game from him before I trust that he's back to being Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. All right, guys, you got your answer? Simon?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, go ahead and reveal what percentage of the public chose boneless wings. Simon said 48. Oh, Pat said 47.
As always, I wrote my answer on a picture of me and my best friend Pat.
Yours and
what a great picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
I made him take this with me in Canton. I was like, my best friend is your biggest fan. He won't believe me.
Jail, before you reveal that answer, I see some more questions coming in here as we're getting to the end of our show. Yeah. Everybody, we're probably not going to have time to answer too many more on this show, but right after this, if you stick around here, have that autoplay button on, FanDuel is going to redirect you right to our channel where we have fantasy football office hours live from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. And all we're doing over there is answering your football questions. So if you've got fantasy football questions that we didn't get to today, just come on over there, Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel. This video will take you right there after it's done, and we'll answer any and everything you've got to ask us.
All right. The poll is, which is better, boneless wings or bone-in wings? Joey said 35%. Simon said 48%. Pat said 47%. The actual percentage is 41%. 41%.
Which means you guys, that's a tie. They're both 6 percentage points.
Yes.
Which is never happened in our game.
Wow.
From that, it's happened where 2 contestants have picked the same one, but never they've been equally distant.
So now you're telling me the final score is going to be 16 to 14 to 0 in this game.
Yes.
That's what the final score
that
of this
is the
game
final
is going to be.
score. Joey's going to pull out the win.
Yes.
Pat,
well done, Joey.
You probably
well
deserve the win,
Thank
but Joey just is freaking cheating.
Yeah,
Dolphins are giving him all the answers.
I've been on 3 shows now, and the only win I got was when Joey was not on the show.
Coincidence? I think.
Clip that.
Pat,
thank you very much.
We will launch an internal investigation. I promise. Checking Joey.
You,
There's something going on.
Once we get yours done about the Wheel of Fortune, yeah.
And, and JL, apparently you did not get the money I Venmo'd you to, fix this the right way and, skew those answers just a bit.
Oh, this is a ton of fun, Pat. Ton of fun. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
guys, I cannot think of a better way to spend an hour than hanging out with the Front Yard Fantasy guys. So thank you so much for having me on, guys.
We love you, Pat. We love you, man.
Guys, if you're not already following Pat, go fix that right now. Truly one of the best in the business and one of the best 100%. Follows on Twitter. He's at Fitz_FF, and you will not regret it. I see DJ in here asking, so I have to do nothing and the other video will load as long as you have autoplay on. If you've got autoplay on, it'll send you right to our video after this. So if you've got autoplay on, it'll take you right over there. That's going to be it for us this afternoon on the Front Yard Fantasy Hour. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, everybody who joined us. And if you all could forget that I got 0 points in this one, that would be fantastic. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll see some of you in about 30 seconds over on our YouTube channel. Until then, adios, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, wait, before we go, DJ said, how do I do that? There should be a play button, and if you can't find it, just search Front Yard Fantasy. We come up super easy. Until then, though, guys, now, for real, adios. We'll see you later, everyone.
Bye, everybody.